Welcome to Living Magically. I'm your host, Magical Michelle, and this week is so absolutely divine. And when I say that, I am really truly feeling it, because taking a deep breath, first we start really getting that Jupiter, the planet of expansion, has finally come out of retrograde and is moving direct. So even though Mercury is retrograde still till the end of this week, we start feeling that stuck energy having moved some. So this week, and I'm filming this on Monday afternoon, the 16th, but the real pop starts Wednesday, Thursday. So let's talk about really the two energies, because there's a distinct difference that happens overnight on Wednesday. So first off, these few days, Monday, Tuesday, most of Wednesday until 9:30 or 9:40 Eastern Standard Time, we have the dark moon. So the dark moon, and as we're in this dark moon, this is the final part of that Piscean season. So we're ending just a day or two after the Pisces new moon. We will end the Pisces season. We've been deep in Pisces season in that we've had a Mercury retrograde in Pisces. We've had the sun in Pisces. We've had a lot of this watery completion energy. And even this new moon is in the last degree. So this is that cleanup. You've probably already become who you are transitioning into. But this is that part where you release the identity. This is that part where you're releasing maybe the bad habits of the old you. Maybe it's the part where you are realizing that actions, identities, things you're doing, even your environment might not be the same to support the person you're becoming. So it's not about changing things willy-nilly. It's more like stripping off anything that is inauthentic. And that might be that even the people that you surround yourself changes because of this change, and everybody feels it. Everybody's feeling it collectively. And let's just talk about the big outside energy and the deep internal transformation. There is that part where the world has a lot going on, and these are the outer planets. When we talk about things going on in the collective consciousness, the worldview, politics, all of that, that is the outer planets. And someone asked me, when does this stop? And the answer is there's always a choice point in astrology. There's always two things happening at once. You could be the higher evolution of a sign or the lower lessons of a sign. And so we have a choice as a collective. Are you going to choose to be in the fear consciousness? Are you going to choose to be feeding the negative consciousness, feeding anger, worry, fear, rage? Are you going to be on that side of the palette, or are you going to find that inner balance? This weekend on the 20th, it's a little early this year because it can fall anywhere from the 19th all the way to the 22nd, but we have a day of balance. It's the day where the sun is the same amount of hours as the moon or the darkness. So the day is in perfect balance. We call that the equinox, the equality. And so this is that place in the choice point of the collective where are we moving into high growth season? Are we going to choose the love, the change, the growth? And it starts internally. So with astrology, you could be the lower cause of your sign or the higher evolution of your sign. And so everything has a choice point, and this is that moment where you choose who you are and who you're becoming versus who you've been and the identity of that. Your past hurts. We don't want to connect to those because the moment you're in is creating the future. The reality you're experiencing is choices that were already made, and that's now what we're experiencing. So this moment is about what are we creating. And I love the spring equinox. Obviously, I do a lot of things right now. I was just looking at my review. I do one thing I love about Facebook is looking back at this day in the past. And so a year ago, I was doing a priestess training in Kansas. 4 years ago, I was leading, but 4 years ago, I was at a Tantra training where I was becoming a rose priestess. And now I lead. I had an opportunity to go to a Tantra temple this weekend and lead and anoint over 20 people in the matter of a few hours. And so the evolution is you start in one place, and by, several years later, it feels like you blink and you're already that. And so think about where you've been and how far you've come, and go to that energy, proud energy, the energy of maybe this version of me couldn't even be handling what's happening right now, and I'm handling it with so much grace. There is an energetic grace that is in these last few days before we get the Pisces new moon on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So depending on what time you go to bed on Wednesday, this new moon will bring forth energy. So it always gets a little confusing because when we have a new moon late in the day, all of the memes are going to say new moon today, and it's still going to feel like the old energy a little bit because it's Pisces and it's emotional and it's water. And we have Mercury in retrograde also in Pisces. So these are the last days of reviewing. So if you're going through a life review, if you're purging, if you're cleaning, if you're in your deep spring cleaning era, this is why. And you might feel that for the next week or two because this spring cleaning is about finding your balance. This is about cleaning out the old to make way for the new. For changing out and freshening up and tidying your emotions, tidying your bank account, tidying your energetic boundaries. Maybe this is the time where you say no because you've wanted to say no and you keep saying yes. So that goes all the way into Wednesday. So anything else you might want to be releasing, letting go of, tidying. And you know me, I'm going to change my bedding. I'm going to reset the house. I'm going to make sure that I sage and clean and clear before we come into something such as a new moon. And it's doubly so because it is also the spring equinox. So then you're going to wake up, either go to bed or wake up or both in this new moon in Pisces energy. And what that's going to start bringing is we're just days away from Aries. That's the sun moving into Aries, the fresh start. So this is going to be a fresh beginning. You're going to probably feel a lot more expansive come the weekend, especially after the 20th. So the 20th is the equinox, but it is also the day that Mercury goes out of retrograde. So the moon will be leaving Pisces, the sun will be leaving Pisces, and so will Mercury. But until then, Pisces is in a stellium. It's in all of this water energy. And so if you have high emotions, be gentle with yourself. If you're feeling like you need to rest, and maybe you even feel guilty for resting, let me just say you've probably been in a state of emergency for so long that shutting off is okay. Do not feel guilty if instead of feeling the energy, like I was saying, that you want to clean or sort or whatever, maybe if it's just sitting and being instead of doing, that is also an okay experience right now. And honestly, any experience you're having is yours. And please don't try and let anyone else tell you what experience you should be having, including me or any other astrologer. Except I'm going to invite you to have the experience that inspires you. There's always going to be a choice. And this week, especially from the new moon to the window of the 20th. So Wednesday night, 10 p.m., 10 p.m. to the end of the day on Saturday. Let's give you that window, is the time to choose for growth. It's high growth season. From here out, every day is going to be more sun. From here on out, there's going to be moving from the equinox to the summer solstice. This is the time to plant the seed. This is a reset button of epic proportions. We've been in this review that we've talked about the year one. So this is a new era. This is a new 9-year cycle. So look back. How have you grown and changed? Like I was looking back 9 years ago, I hadn't even left the country. I didn't have any reason to, but I made my first trip to pilgrimage to England, and now I'm leading another. So if you are, this is what I want to do is travel. Come with me to England. I have a couple of last spots left. If you want to go to Egypt, commit to that, because 4 years ago, right now, I was getting ready to go on my first trip to Egypt. So I'm looking at this going, wow, now I'm leading trips. Now I'm living life in a completely different manner than I did 4 years ago, 9 years ago. Where is it in your life that you have an opportunity to expand? That's the energy right now. How far have you come, and can you double that in your quantum leap in these next couple of years? Because you can do in 1 year, with the year of the fire horse, what it might have taken you 2, 3, 4, 10 years to do in the past. This is the year of quantum leaps. This is the year of ultimate faith. This is the year of big jumps. And we're leading up with this new moon in Pisces to something that's going to be really, really unique and special. Not that this isn't, because this is a special window. This portal from Thursday night at 10 p.m. to the end of the day, Saturday or Sunday, wherever you celebrate this new moon and this equinox, this day of balance, this day of new beginnings, this throwing a party because Mercury is out of retrograde and all planets are finally direct for over a month. Over a month, it really doesn't happen that often. Maybe once a year for a short time. And it's a fairly long time. I think it's about 5 or 6 weeks that we have every planet in forward motion, in the year of the fire horse, in a new year, a 1 year. So it's a yin year last year, which was a shedding, a going inward, a reflection year. But this is a yang year. This is a masculine year. This is a do, be, move momentum. So if you're changing jobs, if you're changing houses, if you're changing identities, if you're changing what you want to put out into the world, maybe you have an idea, a creative project, this Aries season is the time to get a little move on that. Just start something new. And April 17th is something to be looking at, that next new moon. So we have that 28-day period between new moons in Aries. On that day, we will have 7 planets in Aries and 0 point Aries to boot. So this is a cosmic reset, and expect that in the collective as well. But right now, personal sovereignty is what you're looking for. Personal choice point. The collective will choose what timeline we're going to be together in this world by personally choosing who and what you're going to focus on. So choose love, choose yourself, choose to forgive, choose to accept what feels unacceptable, choose to give grace when someone maybe has wronged you or hurt you. Give them grace. Choose to forgive yourself, choose to forgive others, choose to find the silver lining, choose to be in divine timing instead of trying to make something happen. Choose what you want to happen, how you want to feel, and be that vibration, because the vibration you set on a new moon, the vibration you set on a equinox or a solstice, the vibration you set in a window like this, especially Aries. We've never seen this. All these planets are going to be in Aries, and that is that reset. It's a fire sign, just like we're in the year of the fire horse. It's a new beginning, just like we're in a one. This is the momentum that maybe you've been looking for. Now, keep in mind, it's a slow roll. It's going to hit everybody in different times. It could be any time from already starting to you might not feel it to the middle of next week. But we're in this final stage of the life review of who are you, what no longer serves you, what no longer will you tolerate, what no longer fits you as you're making these changes. The change is already done. You already are a new version of you. But what is going to support that big quantum leap that's happening? Because we're quantum leaping right now. If you feel like you're shifting and you can't even keep up with how you're shifting, maybe there's been surprises, maybe there's been something happening in your life that you didn't even know. And a lot of times it's a gift. Like, I had something come in this weekend that was so clear. It was like, why didn't I think of that? But I wasn't quite ready to see that direction. Okay. So you might have just needed to process and have space, and now is the time. So if that's happening to you and you want to process in real time with us, we have a beautiful ceremony both tonight. If you're here in person, we're going to be doing an oil temple with Patrick and sound healing at the Urban Ashram. If you want to work with us next Monday night, we'll be doing a cacao and heart opening ceremony for the spring equinox with Ashley. If you want to join us online, we'll be doing a new moon ceremony right at the peak of that new moon on Wednesday night in the living magical portal. And more importantly, if you are ready to take a big quantum jump and take a trip, because there's nothing that gives you more coding, more change than sacred travel, we've got 3 opportunities for you. We have a trip to England. We have a trip to Orlando, Florida to go to New Smyrna Beach for our witchy weekend in October. And we have a trip to Egypt next February for the eclipse portal. So these things are happening and we want to support you. And in the meantime, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with other people, be in grace, forgive everything you possibly can, accept anything that feels like you can't change it. But the wisdom here is to know what is possible in the personal sovereignty. That's what's possible. Choosing for your growth, choosing for your next stage of life, building something, because this is still foundation time. Build something, not quicksand. Build something with a solid foundation. So if it feels like you're starting over, starting from scratch, it is. It is a new beginning. And also understand that you can use both fire and water. Now, sometimes it feels like they cancel each other out, but that's not really the case here. It's more like the water prepares you to be cleansed and renewed and reviewed. That's the Pisces energy that we're finishing this week, this first half of the week up with. We're in that life review so that we can ignite our flame with the Aries energy. We can set ourselves into renewal of the light and return the light and be part of the fire horse with that momentum. And so stay grounded. One of the things I say when we have a lot of water and a lot of fire is to stay grounded and to use your breath. So anytime we have two elements, use the opposite too. So when you feel out of control right now, do breath work, breathe, connect to the breath of life. When you feel overwhelmed, ground, get your feet on the ground, be in solid earth. So when we are doing a lot of water and a lot of fire, use the opposite tools. And last but not least, this is the perfect time for candle magic. This is going to be the year for bonfires. This is going to be the year for candles. This is going to be the year for using fire to create momentum, the creative spark, the energy of ignition, the energy of let it burn. But because you're going to light up the lighthouse, because you're going to light up the light in your eyes, let it burn because your creative energy is in your belly. Let it burn because you want to gallop with the fire of the fire horse. Let it be your guide, because Aries energy has the opposite. If you get too much into the water and you're in your emotions and then you use the warrior energy of Aries, you could, instead of defending yourself, actually be the one in attack. So we want to be careful not to be the attacker, but instead to be the guiding light, to be the lighthouse, to be the creative spark, to be the one who is lighting the way of love. And I say this not to be spiritually bypassing, but to be love, to be light, to be joy. It's actually a very hard spiritual practice, because if you're choosing joy in the face of adversity, it's hard. If you're choosing love you have a choice between being angry or being loving, peaceful, and kind, that's hard. But these are the energies we want to anchor in. We want to anchor in joy, peace, calm, hope. And that is how we'll shift the collective energy. That is how we create a vibration for ourselves based on now. Because right now we're living the creative energy that we manifested as a collective from the past. Now we're creating for our future. And this energy is a creative life force energy. And I love it. I'm here for it. I'm so excited for this week. And I personally cannot wait to be in ceremony, in temple, in sacred space with you as this year goes on and continues. So with all of that, be kind and gentle to yourself. Set your intentions. Be kind, gentle, and in the state of rest, renewal, and review for just a few more days. And then just know that it's full move forward coming after the 20th. From the 20th on, and we'll talk about that more next week, we're going to be in go time. And it's very exciting. It's go time. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been working toward. So with all of that, I love you. Live magically.